kebakaran, pendeteksi asap, alarm kebakaran, dan layar informasi digital. Di ruangan ini terdapat dua pintu utama, sebelah kanan dan kiri.
Selanjutnya masing-masing lantai di gedung ini memiliki tangga darurat yang berada di sisi kanan dan kiri.
Proudly organized this seminar in collaboration with National Cheng Kung University from Taiwan. This seminar aims to broaden the horizon of student researchers, academics through interdisciplinary perspective on biomedical innovation, delivered by international experts in the field. It serves not only as the platform for knowledge exchange, but also the strategic opportunity to strengthen academic partnership through the signing of memorandum of agreement between these two universities. Therefore, this seminar is not merely an academic event, but also a milestone in building global research network as well as tangible contribution from Universitas Gadjah Mada in addressing global health challenges through technological and innovative approaches. Before we begin with this opening ceremony, we kindly request all participants to rise from their seat for the national anthem Indonesia Raya. This will be followed by Himne Gadjah Mada, which will Miss Niwayan Siska Dewi. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. have an opening speech from the Dean of Graduate School Universitas Gajah Mada, Professor Insinyur Siti Malhama, MSc, PhD. To Prof. Siti, the time and place is yours.
Good morning, distinguished professors, respected delegates from National Cengkung University, esteemed faculty members, dear students and all participants. Welcome to Graduate School Universitas Gajah Mada. It is a great honor and privilege for me to welcome all of you to this special occasion. The signing of the Memorandum of Agreement on Biomedical Engineering Study between the Graduate School of UGM and National Cengkung University, Taiwan, and also a seminar, Future Healthtech, Interdisciplinary Breakthroughs in Biomedical Innovation. On the behalf of the Graduate School, I extend our gratitude to our colleagues and partners from NCKU for your presence, your expertise, and your shared commitment to advancing biomedical innovation. This seminar will address the importance of interdisciplinary synergy in pushing the boundaries of innovation to meet the complex health challenges of today and tomorrow. We are deeply grateful for your presence and enthusiasm in strengthening the collaboration between this partnership represents more than a formality. It is a symbol of our mutual commitment to fostering academic excellence and providing meaningful contribution to knowledge and development. The master programs in biomedical engineering at this graduate school is one of Indonesia's pioneers of interdisciplinary postgraduate education. We are deeply honored to collaborate with you, all of you, one of Asia's foremost institutions whose faculty members are internationally recognized for their contribution in the fields such as biomaterials, medical device design, biosensing technologies, and biomedical data processing. We believe that through these collaborations, such as joint supervision, student and staff exchanges, collaborations in research and academic forums such as today's, we can create impactful outcomes that benefit both our institution and broader communities. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to everyone who has contributed to making this event possible. I wish you all an enriching seminar, and let this moment mark the beginning of a long-lasting and fruitful collaboration between UGM and NCKU. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Siti, for the speech. Please give a round of applause to Prof. Siti. Moving on with the agenda, we would like to humbly invite to the stage and also deliver an opening speech, Dean of Engineering College, National Cengkung University, Professor Chan Dengjiang.
Respect Dean of the Graduate School, Professor Siti Malhama. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And dear colleagues and friends from our university, NCKU, and from the UGM, all of the friends, good morning. It's really my honor to be here with you today. On behalf of the College of Engineering at the NCKU, and especially our Department of Bioengineering Group, Biomechanical Engineering Group, I would like to express my sincere thanks to your warm hospitalities. We are truly honored to visit UGM, a very good university, not only in Indonesia, but also throughout Southeast Asia. We have admired UGM's dedications to great education and research. It's a real pleasure for us to start building a closer connection between our two universities, especially by Biomedical Engineering Group. Today is a special, exciting moment for us. We are here to formally sign a memorandum of agreement between our two biomedical engineering programs. A meaningful step towards deepening academic cooperations and building a strong partnership for both sides. At NCKU, we strongly believe innovation through the cooperation. In a dynamic impact field like biomechanical engineering, exchanging ideas, perspective, and expertise across borders is very essential. By working together, we hope to open new doors to joint research, faculty-student exchange, and projects that address real-world healthcare challenges. This MOU, I believe, is not more than just a formal document. It marks the beginning of the promising and lasting friendship between our two universities. Once again, thank you very much. We are excited about the possibility ahead and look forward to many collaborations in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Jan, for the wonderful speech. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, we have now come to one of the most important moments of today's event, the official signing memorandum of agreement between Universitas Gadjah Mada Indonesia and National Cheng Kung University Taiwan. We would like to invite both representatives from each university, Professor Siti Malhamah and Professor Chan Dengjan, to the designated table to sign memorandum of agreement to make official collaboration of Universitas Gadjah Mada and National Cheng Kung University. We also would like to invite Professor Han Cheng Kwang and Mrs. Insinyur Rini Darmasiti to also sign as the witnesses the memorandum of agreement. Okay. We are honored to have Professor Siti Malhamah representing Universitas Gadjah Mada and Professor Chan Dengjan representing National Cheng Kung University to sign the agreement on behalf of their respective institution. Okay, followed by photo session. Okay, followed by photo session. Please stay for a moment. Okay, please give a warm of applause as we document this moment. This agreement symbolizes a shared commitment to academic collaboration and advancement of higher education between our two esteemed institutions. To commemorate this meaningful partnership, we will now to present a symbolic gift representing our mutual commitment from Universitas Gadjah Mada to National Cheng Kung University. We kindly invite Professor Siti to present the symbolic gift to Professor Jan, followed by photo session. We kindly request the professor to remain standing for a moment as we prepare for the group photo. Next, we would like to continue with the souvenir presentation to our distinguished guests. We would like to invite other distinguished faculty member of National Cheng Kung University to the stage. Professor Fong Chin Su, Professor Ye Renjeng, Professor Kuo Sen Cheng, Professor Ming Loye, and Professor Han Seng Chuang. And also we would like to invite Dr. Priyaji Agung Pambudi as Coordinator of Quality Assurance, Cooperation, Public Relations, and Promotion of the Graduate School to present souvenir as a token of appreciation. Okay, please stay for a moment to close this ceremonial session. We would like to hold a group photo session to commemorate this important milestone. All faculty members, Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed the main agenda of today's seminar, we will now begin with the introduction of our moderator, who will be facilitating the discussion and guiding us through the next session. Allow me to briefly present the curriculum vitae of our esteemed moderator, Dr. Gigi Aryan Morita, MSc, PhD. Mrs. Aryan Morita is highly accomplished academic and researcher in the field of medical and health sciences, with a particular focus on toxicology, including clinical toxicology as well as pharmacology and pharmaceutical sciences. She earned her doctoral degree, PhD, in Biomedical Engineering from University of Groningen, Netherlands. Prior to that, she completed her master's degree in Biomedical Sciences at the Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing, Universitas Gadjah Mada. She also holds a bachelor degree in dentistry from Faculty of Dentistry, Universitas Gadjah Mada. With her interdisciplinary background and academic excellence, Mrs. Aryan brings both depth and insight to today's session. It is about an honor and pleasure to welcome her as the moderator of this seminar. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gigi Aryan Morita, MSc, PhD, to the stage. With that, we will now to cordially hand over the session to Mrs. Aryan Morita. Thank you.
Thank you, MC, for your kind introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to be a chair for leading this session. And before we proceed for the seminar, I would like to invite all the distinguished professors from National Cheng Kung University. The first professor is Professor Fong Ching Su. Please join me in the stage. And next we have Professor Yu Ren Zheng. Please, Professor, join me on stage. And next we have Professor Ko Seng Cheng. And followed by Professor Ming Long Ye. And the last but not least, we have Professor Han Seng Chuang. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly begin the seminar. But before, let me explain a bit about how we perform the seminar. So it will be 5 professors who will deliver the talk for today. And in the last, we have question and answer session. So for each professor, we will give you around 15 to 20 minutes to deliver your lecture. And in the end of the session, we have question and answer. So for the first professor, we will have Professor Fong Ching Su that will be deliver the talk about the medical devices innovation. So Professor Su, time is yours.
Okay, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, actually it's my great pleasure to visit your university second time. Thanks to Professor Morita for kind introduction and friendship. Okay, next slide. I think today I will be happy to share with you that medical device innovation in National Cheng Kung University. May I have slide?
So we can start with the slide, Mas Yere.
So probably, may I go there? Easy to look at the slide.
Also look from the
over there.
screen, over
Okay.
there.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Next slide. Next. Okay. I would like to give you a brief introduction about biomedical engineering research. At NCKU. Actually, our BME program established in 1988. But actually, the related research at NCKU about bioengineering starting from 1980. And 1983, NCKU established PhD program in biomedical engineering. And I would like to proud to say that actually NCKU BME is the first BME program in the world to recruit clinicians to join our program. And we have an undergraduate program starting from 2011. And 2015 we recruit 10 more faculty members. So right now, actually, BME program at NCKU actually is the biggest, in Taiwan and have most outstanding achievements. And 2017, we established a special international program for medical device innovation. And 2023, actually, we have a so-called medical device innovation center, actually established in 2011 and received the third times of 5-year grant as a Center of Excellence from Ministry of Education, Taiwan. Okay, I just mentioned that MDIC established 2011, actually is a MoE Center of Excellence, and this slide just give you an idea. Right now we already shift our focus to digital health since 2018. And actually, MDIC is a global leader, in medical device innovation. Even the Indian IIT Bombay learned our model, inspired my center to establish the other medical device center in IIT Bombay. And actually, this slide shows our team leaders. Actually consists of different discipline experts, including medical doctors. I have no time to introduce each one, but someone you can see that on the platform. And next slide, I would like to. Okay, this slide just give you an idea how we establish so-called medical innovation ecosystem on NCKU campus. Actually, this MDIC play important hub, to lead in innovation in medical area, so including incubation of future talent with several important programs. Actually, we set up first biodesign courses in Taiwan. We also receive a lot of funding directly from NSTC, so-called Spark, even STB program. And actually, based on clinically, we encourage the team, to develop Healthtech technologies. Then we encourage staff, especially we have excellent academia industry collaboration. So Gaia, actually more than 200 members, with our center. And this slide just gives you an idea how we serve as a successful platform to integrate joint research, among 9 faculties, 9 colleges on campus, and to cooperate with research institutes in Taiwan, such as ITRI, is a famous institute in Taiwan. And more importantly, we have a great academia industry collaboration, not only Taiwan company, also with foreign companies, such as Taiyang Yuden, from Japan. And it's quite important to work with industrial partners, for innovation. And this slide just shows you that our NC campus, and you can find that MDIC have several bases on campus. Actually, starting from our office on outpatient clinical building, and then we set up so-called touch lab, even a CDMO base in a new building of medical school. And we also, set up biomed aggregate, for serve as an accelerator, for staff, and we are going to set up validation laboratories. It's quite important for so-called digital health. So I think in near future we can work with you, to set up a so-called multiple center clinical trial, multiple center validation test. Where is that? I don't know how to point to the computer. Okay, and this give you a brief show that our academic achievement, actually in addition to medical innovation, we encourage you to publish journal paper. So actually there are many outstanding journal paper published and has been selected as a cover letter. And we also set up overseas hub, in Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. And I just mentioned that SPARK. SPARK program actually had a special grant from NSTC since 2013, and it's keep going now. And during the past 10 years, actually, we already incubate more than 100 teams, and actually they receive government staff funding. That we assure you that there are many staff. So far actually there are 28 staff incubated by MTIC already. And this just shows that 27, 28, So actually NCKU actually #1 in Taiwan, probably also in Asia, in medical device innovation area. And this give you the highlight. We already, because the center work closely with our Department of Biomedical Engineering, so incubation, nurturing future talent actually is an important law. So you can see that how we nurturing more than 58 foreign students, and also publish almost 700 journal papers. And I just highlight, actually, we already have 28 staffs and filed more than 122 patents. And more importantly, 39 devices has been certified by FDA for Taiwan FDA already. So that means 39 devices can be sold, in United States and in Taiwan. And we receive a lot of industrial grant, probably more than 80% of our grant directly from industry collaboration. And for example, actually, MDIC is the first university in Taiwan to receive ISO 13485 certificate. Actually, quite important for medical innovation. And also, NCKU is the first university in Taiwan to receive medical device manufacturer and dealer approval. That means we can directly use our developed medical devices apply in our hospital, even sell, sold to the other hospital. Okay, and this one also shows that we develop modern technology, even in AI, apply AI for area, for medical application. And last year we set up a so-called CDM, or Contract Design and Manufacture Organization on campus, in a new building of a medical school. And this highlight that our recent study received a world recognition, actually that the best award for only one paper, in last year, actually to apply IoT technology for so-called home as a care, as a hub of future care, especially for the rehabilitation of the hand, can be applied and used at home, not only in hospital. So we also set up the cloud. We can collect the data, big data, directly. So that's the reason why this paper has been selected, the unique best paper award in the last year. And this highlights many pioneering study published in cover page, as a cover page of international journals. I have no time to give you in detail introduction. And this one just give you an idea how the startup company incubate by MDIC and their product, and someone actually related to dentistry. So you can see that many dental devices actually in Taiwan already. And this one also this slide shows that several leading technology, the up and corner. This one actually that so-called long-term rhythm detector. Actually that means to apply leading semiconductor technology to develop the sensor, for long-term monitoring of heartbeat. And top right corner actually show that how our colleagues develop so-called immunotherapy, can be used at home, in hospital. Right now, the new version actually that the mobile, you can use the mobile phone directly, for immunotherapy directly. And the bottom one, I don't have a time to introduce. Actually, that the GA monitoring the blood flow on your stomach. I don't have time. Okay, so actually, probably I can jump to next slide. Actually, about our future research focus. This one, it can just give you an idea. The digital and precision healthcare is our major focus in coming years. So based on American need and to solve, the challenges in aging society and with application of AI, ICT technology, even the precision manufacturing, to develop related wearable devices. And AI, I just mentioned, can be applied in all disciplines. And more importantly, in future era of digital health, cross-country, multiple validation centers are quite necessary. So I expect NCKU can work with UGM, for digital healthcare. And this important message, NCKU, we have established the geriatric hospital. Actually, that's first geriatric hospital in Taiwan, and we are also constructing a so-called Southern Medical Innovation Park. That's actually a brand new park, for medical innovation with not only a smart hospital, also, with it's a park to work with industrial partners. And if you are interested and would like to give information, you can scan the QR code here. Terima kasih. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Professor Morita. That's the photo taken last June, almost the same date as today.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Su, for your wonderful lecture. Well, I still remember you visit us last year, but unfortunately it was like national holiday and nobody present in UGM, so it was a bad timing at that time. So next, we will move to the next speaker, Professor Yoon Ren Jeng. He will deliver the talk about insight into biotissues with multimodal, multi-scale approach. So, Prof. Jeng, time is yours.
Honorable host from UGM, my colleagues from NCKU, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. I'm excited to be here today as my first trip to Indonesia. And I will discuss two types of biological tissues today. The first one is a soft tissue, the intervertebral disc, which my Indonesia students study. The second one is tooth enamel, a hard tissue, as our invitation is from a faculty of dentistry.
Yeah. 这样不行，你的不会跳，因为它没有插 USB 的那个 adapter。你要插你的 USB adapter。你要帮他，你可以吗？你要帮忙控制啊，因为它那个必须它要 match 的，你那个是控制到别台的，因为那个是那个本来是那一台，那不是你那一台。对啊，你帮他控制了。对 ，next time 就。Okay, maybe I can control.
Yeah, it's fine.
So you have better to use your system.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Use your system like that. You don't know.
Yeah, as I say, I will first discuss intervertebral disc.
It's not good.
Intervertebral disc protects our nerves,
Not easy.
support body movement, and prevent bone-to-bone contact.
Yes.
Its degeneration results from complex interplay of factors such as structure, genetic, dramatic, and age-related elements. While MRI is the gold standard of assessing structure changes, it cannot effectively predict symptom severity. All these advanced imaging techniques lack sensitivity to early biochemical change or inflammatory activity. These changes complicated the diagnosis. In treatment, the absence of degenerative biomarker hinders the delivery of personal care. So our biomarker analysis aims to bridge these gaps. Our Raman spectroscopy detects biochanges during various degrees of degeneration. Moreover, we can characterize changes in viscoelasticity using narrow indentation. As the disc degenerates, our biomarker analysis allows us to correlate biochemical changes with biomedical, with micromechanical behavior during different degree of differentiation as determined by MRI. Our findings suggest that protein alteration is more influential in affecting biomechanical behavior than mineralization. Overall, tissue correlation is essential for keeping the damping capacity of the disc. Now I will talk about treatment. Since cell therapy emerges as a powerful, personalized treatment, and MP cells is a progenitor cell that holds promise for cell-based therapy. We conducted a comprehensive assessment to monitor and characterize the osteogenic differentiation of MP cells. We notice the bone formation during differentiation, and Raman characterization reveal vivid biomarkers. Additionally, XRD results indicate mineralization while stiffness increases as demonstrated by narrow indentation. Our findings suggest that there is a good potential to use NP cell for cell therapy. Our biomarker analysis combining MRI, Raman spectroscopy, and narrow indentation create a multi-scale roadmap from early degeneration detection to cell therapy design and biomechanical characterization. And now I will shift the gear to heart cell. Our tooth is responsible for nutrition intake. And tooth in mammal mainly consists of brittle minerals with only a very small portion of protein. However, it exhibits both hard and tough physical properties. Normally, hardness and toughness are two competing characteristics in engineering material. For example, a ceramics is extremely hard, but it can break easily. Fascinated by Mother Nature's ability to create a very robust material from very brittle mineral and soft protein, I visited a dentist for a solution. But Professor Dabinche informed me that there was an issue in dental clinic that needed attention. Topical fluoride treatment is a well-established method to prevent tooth decay. However, evidence suggests that fluoride deposit lost early due to toothbrushing and food intake during the follow-up visits. So our team used AFM to create a three-dimensional quantitative mapping for fluoride deposit and apply narrow indentation to characterize its mechanical property. And the results indeed suggest that it has low hardness and high wear depth. Previous study involved substrate effect, meaning that their indentation depth is not shallow enough. They characterize in MO itself. However, after the removal of fluorization, evidence shows that there is a significant increase in fluoride concentration, justify the long-term effectiveness of fluorization. Subsequently, we locate a CO2 laser with enough power to harden the fluoride deposit, but low enough to avoid damaging the surrounding tissues to further extend its long-term effectiveness. After confirming that our narrow indentation technique is a powerful tool to study narrow mechanics property, we went on to study how tooth enamel can exhibit such a robust property. Our results indicate that tooth enamel exhibits a gradient feature from the outer surface to the dentinal enamel junction. This gradient feature dissipates stress under loading, therefore prevent the formation of cracks. But the question remains whether other species possess such a gradient feature. To answer this question, we collect samples from many species with different feeding habits. Our results suggest that diet drives the evolution of the enamel composition. Herbivores, especially those eating tough leaves, has the highest hardness for wear resistance in processing food. And animals with higher hardness exhibits higher gradient to protect the happening of cracks. Meat-eating material, such as crocodile, use the shape of the tooth for meat eating, while herbivores use gliding action, so they need high hardness for wear resistance. And diet significant impact tooth enamel formation of herbivores even within the same group. For example, fox and its related species consumes tough leaves, leading to high hardness of tooth enamel. In contrast, deer and its relatives consumes soft leaves to support their home growth for their higher nutrition value. And that leads to a little lower hardness. Furthermore, longevity is associated with the tooth hardness and the resulting higher gradients. To understand its biocomposition, we went to our National Synchrotron Center to use their FTIR. And our findings suggest that the hardness gradients corresponds to the phosphate and amide ratio. In other words, there is the only very small portion of biochemical changes manipulate the enamel gradient feature. The lesson learned is that evolution drives the development of enamel hardness profile in response to diet and longevity, and this Adaptation is revolution, create biodiversity. On that note, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Jen, for your nice talk. And we are now moving for our third speaker, Professor Kuo Seng Chen, and he will deliver the topic about the image analysis in medical application. So please, Professor Chen, time is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, moderators, and good morning, faculties and colleagues of your University of Gajah Mada. And I want to express my gratitude to the Dean and the faculties of University of Gajah Mada and Mada, and for inviting me here. And this is my first time to be in Indonesia. Okay, so the first time was give the lecture to your universities, and actually my background is in the EE, electrical engineering. So probably I want to share some of my research in the past. One of that would be to apply the image processing to the cephalometry analysis. Probably that would relate to the dentist of information, something like that. So actually, we applied this technology very young ago. This is not my many years ago. Oh, okay, yeah, this one. And today I'm not going to discuss with that because currently we are working on the some disease or some problem in our society due to the aging problems. Okay, so I just want to mention that if you try to find some of the image processing in the dentistry, then the first step would be image processing for the cephalometry. It'll be kind of very easy to access, and also you don't need a lot of facility for that. You only need to have a computer and students with the programming capabilities, and then they know some about the machine learning, then it will be okay for that. Okay, so and here I want to share some of my research currently. No? Okay. So the first one would be we currently try to work on the dementia and how to use the image processing to screen the people with the mild cognitive impairment. So that would be the first step. I think in the Asia countries such as Taiwan or Japan or Korean, we have some problem with aging society because from the aged society to the super aged society, we are very short time to get from that because the population changes a lot. But I just discussed with the faculty here, you don't seem to have this kind of problem, but I don't know. But we are facing this problem in a very early stage, okay? So how to screen the cognitive problem would be very important, and how could I apply the image processing techniques to do that? So that would be one of my research. So you know, dementia have different kind of syndrome, and it's very important to understand the syndrome, and it affects the elderly daily activity a lot. So you need to pay a lot of healthcare costs and something people to help them. So once you know, if I have a problem of the my parents would have a dementia, then I got a lot of trouble because I'm also old, right? So I need to pay a lot of attention to that. And I also don't have many children, you know. I probably only have 1 or 2. So in this kind of problem would be the cost of the society. You need to care about that. So the dementia would be very important for that. And one thing for that would be, there are different kind of dementia. There are kind of due to the vascular dementia or some of the Alzheimer's disease, some of that. So you need to differentiate that. But here, we just try to sort of screen the mild cognitive impairment. It's not easy to differentiate the mild cognitive impairment and also some elderly people. So that would be the step. And you know, currently we don't have such as a medicine to cure this kind of dementia. The only thing you can do is what? Is to slow down the process of dementia. So how can we do that? Sometimes people will say that you might, being as a child for your parents, keep talking with them and keep interaction with them would be one of the way to save the problem in a later time, okay? So there will be one of that. So here, I just share you some of that. And this is such as a prevalence of the dementia for the whole world. I think that will be currently one of the problems. And I think the WHO also, they try to focus on these topics. And this is the prevalence in Taiwan area, okay? So you can see for different age, the population with the dementia got increased from the 65, we said it's elderly, then from 3.4 to 20 point something. And this will be very, very important now in our country. So usually how can we do the diagnosis of the dementia? There are different kinds of diagnosis. The basic one would be do the test. So we call the neural function measurement, such as DSM-5. They're a kind of scale. You just keep asking the questionnaire and then try to have the response for the questionnaire and then to give the score for that. Then the score greater than something, then you know the subject will have a dementia or mild cognitive impairment or not. So there will be one way to do that. But you need to have trained the neurologist to do that. And it's kind of a problem for that, actually, in our country, because you need to keep screening for that, and you usually need to spend more than half an hour just to do one subject testing for that. Okay, so the other thing would be you can do some functional images for that. Try to characterize the function of your brain and also some of the analysis for that. But it also costs a lot of time or the healthcare cost for that. So sometimes they won't to let you do that because you will not have any syndrome. So probably in the beginning stage you cannot understand that. So how can we try to do that is we just use the some questionnaire testing. So one way would be that way. And in our country, we have a CASI because it's kind of Chinese style. You need to translate the language into a Chinese, and also you need to have some cultural problem for that to modify the question for that. So in here, we usually have some CASI test for that. So in our study, we just try to let the subject to draw a clock with the time 10 after 10. And based on the drawing of these patterns, we could characterize the features. And then based on the feature analysis, put into the machine learning and try to get the feature analysis for that and try to give the score. And try to correlate this kind of score with the MMSE or with the CASI for that correlation. So after you do that and you confirm with this kind of result, then you don't need to have a well-trained neurologist to do the test, right? You just give the subject to have your test, and then you can understand the mild cognitive impairment. And I think the mild cognitive impairment is very difficult to characterize that, okay? So here, just give you some idea, how can we do that? So, and here give you some of the idea. There are kind of clinical issue for that, because the conducted for the neuropsychologist, it took a lot of time, and then it could be a trouble for that. And the time spent for this kind of testing is 30 to 60 minutes for that, and it's not that way to do that. So how can we do this kind of test? And the test include many aspects, such as memory, short-term memory, remote memory, and also some of the attention and so forth. So how can we just do the clock testing to just compare these features with the comprehension test assessment for that? So that would be the important, how to correlate the features we get, and then how to correlate with the result from the MMC score, something like that. And I think this will be very important to do that. So here, instead of have a lot of facility, we just have a iPad, and then we just sort of build an iPad and then let the subject to draw the 10 after 10. Probably you might ask why, but that's the traditional way they use the testing for that. And based on the hands of the clock and based on the digit they draw and based on the distribution of the characters and digits, and we can have some features for that. And based on that, we could correlate with the test. So here, we did not really pay a lot of attention for the image processing. We just use the Euro. Euro will be, there are different kind of open source for that, and there are very kind of version for that. So it's very easy to access for the euro, and then they could provide you a very precise digit recognition. Okay, so it's not that difficult to do that. So for this, we just use the euro, and then we use the genetic algorithm and machine learning try to extract the useful features instead of to keep all the features to machine learning. So I think it will wear a lot of computation time for that. So we base on the genetic algorithm, try to select the useful features for that. So there will be another selection for the feature engineering here. So here, just give you some broad outline research framework here. Based on the data collection, we do have a digital clock drawing test, DCT, and then the people need to have a CASI. So you need to have some traditional way to assess the subjects for their scores. And then based on that, we do the euro for the image processing, and then we extract the features for that and compare the features with the correlation of the CASIs. And then you can understand which part of the feature could be related to the CASI different aspect. And that will be the way in our research. So this was a collaboration with the Department of Neurology at the National Cheng Kung University Hospital. And we sort of recruit some of the subjects, and then you can see the right-hand side will be the pad, the iPad, and the left-hand side will be the traditional Chinese CASI assessment for the subjects. And this is the image processing. We just based on the Euro version 4. Now currently, I think Euro is version 8 or something. It's higher than this version, but the old one would be very useful for doing this. Okay, so we just keep using this, and we divide the features into different way. We separate the feature into static features and also the dynamic features. So you can see the static feature just relate to about the digits and the hands of the clock and sort of that. And because we can trace the drawing process from iPad, so we also know the starting point for the drawing and what is the time elapsed during the drawing for that. That would be another way. So there will be a static dynamic features for that. So we also set up a little bit more than 5 features for that. So in combine all these features, including the static and dynamic features, so we could have a lot of features to do the scoring correlation. And instead of to combine all the features, we also do the genetic algorithm. So we just sort of represent the one feature as kind of a gene sequence string. So based on that, we could have a string for the gene, and 0, 1, 0, so something like that. If you said 0, then you don't want this feature to pass off this. If you said 1, then you want this feature to pass this. So based on this gene sequence, you can have a feature selection to do the feature engineering for that, instead of traditional feature selection process. Okay, so this is just an algorithm for that and for the optimization. And for the machine learning, we just use the XBoost. I think this will be very popular to do that. And okay, so there are kind of model for that. I don't want to give too much detail for this. Okay, so there will be this part about that. And finally, we can see the KC distribution and also the correlation for our score. And some part of that, for the digital clock drawing, we seem to have a remote memory and a recent memory, and some of that would be not that would be good because there are some kind of very good correlation. But part of them would not be good, such as mental manipulation, some of that. So just digital clock, it's not could be used to represent all different aspects of the CASI or MMSE, but you can use that to further study for that. Okay, so this will be my first part for the research now. Okay, so I don't want to give too much detail for this. My second part would be what? Would be digital pathology. You know, the application of AI in the image processing, there are two kinds of data set would be very popular. One would be some image process, some part of the data set in Department of Radiology, right? The other one would be the Department of Pathology. But you know, Department of Pathology would be very difficult to characterize. But sometimes we said Department of Radiology would be good to characterize that. So usually a lot of commercial or TFD-approved device, they always focus on the Department of Radiology. But now, you know, the digital pathology will be one way, could be used to develop some sort of medical devices for that. So here, we face some problem for that. The one would be what? The one would be the color changes due to some whole slide scanning systems. Different kind of brand for the scanning system will give you different images or image colors. That would be one problem. The other one problem would be what? The doctors, they don't have so much time to label the pathology, the label tissue image for you. So how can you solve that? Because when you want to apply the AI, you need a big database, right? But you know, they don't have so much time to label that. Then you don't have enough label the data to do the AI process. That would be the problem. So here, we propose a kind of student-teachers model for that, okay? So for the student-teachers model for that, so you can have use the teacher's model, try to aggressively adapt the teacher's model, and then try to modify the student model to adapt for different hospital. Because once you train the system with this hospital, they usually it might work for some other hospital. So there will be some problem for that. So here, just give you some of the idea. How can we apply the teacher-student model to solve this kind of problem for that? And this will be the basic student model. And here, sorry, there will be a progressive teacher's model for that. And based on this too, keep training for the small amount of data, and then you can fit different kind of medical centers to do the AI process for the digital pathology for that. And this paper was published in the IEEE transition. So just give you some idea for that. And because of time limit, I just give you another experiment we are currently, research we are currently working on that, okay? So we do have some improvement for that, for the sensitivity or for the IOU and F1 score for that. Sorry. Okay, the last one topic would be the electrical impedance tomography. So this is a kind of another new novel technology for reconstruct the cross-section of the body, okay? So the body actually, you can apply the current, and then you, based on the measurement of the velocity, so you can reconstruct the conductivity or permittivity distribution to characterize the function. The first way you apply this would be the lung function, because the lung would inspire the air and expel the air. So the air will not conduct, so you can really watch the lung function as well. So it's very useful in the ICU application. But currently, we try to apply this technology to what? To characterize the muscle. Because the sarcopenia is just previous lectures they said. Sarcopenia will be one of the problems for the aging society. So how can you characterize that using this kind of techniques? So this will be the very novel techniques to do that. So, you know, we just based on the Ohm's law. And then you apply a lot of electrode around the bodies. And then based on this electrode, you can apply the current, and you also can acquire the voltage from that. And based on that, we need to write a reconstruction algorithm to reconstruct the image for the body cross section. Okay, so here just give you some of the commercial available product. We have a system here. We have one of the system in the left-hand side, and then based on that, we just modify the electro patterns, and then attach the electro pattern instead of the chest. We just modify that in the side, so it's around the side, and then let the people standing up and sitting down, and then based on this kind of dynamic positions, then we could characterize the continuous function for that. So probably this will be one of the new technology could continuous monitoring the lung function as well. So we sort of try to apply this function to characterize the COPD This is one of the problems for the aging society, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So that will be another topic. We try to characterize that. Okay? So finally, just give you some of this idea. And actually here, I just want to tell you about how can we apply the image processing to that. We just apply the deep learning neural net to separate the lung function into two parts, one for the heart, the other one for the lung, because you acquire the information at the same time. So there was some sort of blurring your measurement. So we need to separate that, and based on this measurement, we could have good pictures for the lung as well as for the heart. So that would be the how to apply this function for that. This just gives you some of the simulation for that. If you have applied some of the current pattern around this kind of circles, then you can characterize the streamline of the current and also the voltage for that. Okay, so based on that, you can have the governing equation, and then based on the inverse problem, you have the imagery reconstruction for that. So I just covered two topics. Too many topics for this, okay? So I just want to share with you. This is the UNet for that. And this is how we modify the UNet to separate these two components for that. And I think here. Okay, so since this time limit, I just want to go to my last. Okay, so this was contributors for our lab. And basically, we sort of a collaboration with the Department of Neurology and also some of the pathology department and also some AA department. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Cheng, for a wonderful talk. And we would like to welcome Professor Ming Long Ye. He will deliver the topic about the processing and application of degradable metal in biomedicine. So, Professor, please.
Okay. Thank you for the moderator introduction, and I'm very appreciate the hospitality from the EGN, especially those students receive us. And in our department, NCKU Biomedical Engineering, we have several outstanding graduate students from Indonesia. And I am also the first time being in Indonesia, so I just very appreciate that you have a good student go to study your degree at our university, especially our department. Okay, so my background is different from the previous three speakers. My background is in the material science. So basically, I just briefly introduce some of my one of my main focus study, because I work on several research topics, and then maybe we use this topic as an example, show what we can do in our university. So. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm professor at Biomedical Engineering, but also I work as the director of a staff and accelerator center. Because the first speaker, Professor Su, showed the startup and the innovation at the Medical Device Innovation Center. I'm working as a director. Basically, this center, the purpose is to help the faculty or student, your technology or your idea, make it into the product or even have a start company. So usually in the previous maybe 6 or 7 years, the whole university at the NCKU around has more than 10 startups. Okay, so we have a company built by our faculty or by our students. And because the university also a very big university, and you can find lots of application or lots of innovation product suitable for the Indonesia. Maybe you can, especially a big college engineering, faculty engineering. So maybe you can, in the future, we can work together about that one. So besides the metal, I also work like a cardiac tissue engineering or orthopedic biomechanic. Sorry. So because only time limit, later I will focus on biodegradable metal biomaterial, but also like in the previous and the current, I also work on several research topics on the left-hand side. So this PVD is peripheral vascular disease detection. Okay, in the old age, some of your peripheral vein or the artery have problem. So this I got a grant from the Minister of Economy So he asked, because we received the grant, you need to have your own staff. So I just established a company this month. Okay, so use this PPG and the ECG to detect the peripheral disease, is there occlusion. So the second will introduce later. And also I spend a lot of time working on the circuit topic, cardiac tissue engineering, and include the cell therapy. Because you know the cardiac in the tissue engineering field, cardiac regeneration is the main focus because without the blood vessel, without the nerve. So it's a very ideal topic. But so far still not a very promising product. So because my research is focused on the usability, because currently in orthopedic treatment, usually mostly like I use the arthroscope. Use the scope, just we don't open your knee joint. So the material selection was not a solid material, as like a hydrogel material. So you can generation through the light, or through the chemical, or through the so-called smart polymer. So that's what my focus. Because the hydrogel, you can carry a lot of the stimulator, like a growth factor, cell, previously like a PRP, recently the exosome. So they will help the regenerate of the tissue. So this is one of our focus. And also the mechanical property. Since this hydrogel is relatively inferior in the mechanical property, especially the stiffness. So several generation process like a UV or like like a chemical generation, we also try to help establish or improve the mechanical property. Also in doping some of like ion, because some ion can help chelation of those hydrogel, also enhance the mechanical property. So that's one of my focus. And the other approach for my research is this cartilage, because I previously work in a research project in called decellularized tissue. Because my one other ingredient besides the hydrogel, I use the decellularized cartilage tissue from the pig. Okay, so certainly in Indonesia, maybe from the cow. Okay, so this decellularized, because the composition is similar to the natural cartilage, so they can host the cell adhesion and also provide some growth factor to help regeneration of the cartilage. So in my lab, so my focus for the cartilage tissue engineering based on two main ingredients. One is the hydrogel, it provides hosting and for all the stimulation. The other is the decellularized cartilage. And cartilage can be different form, can be powder, can be a sheet. So this will be one of my main research. So I also work other like a research drug eluting balloon, and work a lot of study with orthopedic surgeon, with orthopedic biomechanics. Also I work two study on the Otilian device. One is use microcurrent. Use current to stimulate wood generation, and also the other is use some ion beside the silver ion, some like magnesium ion or some other ion, and also help regeneration of the wood. Okay, so this is overall for my previous and current research. So if students are interested or faculty are interested, you can work together. Well, okay. So I go to today, I will only just bring the main topic, degradable metal, okay? So by material, you found the material science textbook, you know, material divided into metal, polymer, ceramic, and composite material. So currently, a lot of medical devices or implant material based on the metal, polymer, and some of them is ceramic material. So certainly they have the advantage, but in some of the cases, some of the tissue they are damaged or they can be repaired by themselves, especially for example like a muscle or a bone, not a cartilage. Okay, so also some of the stent, okay, coronary artery stent or peripheral stent. So they can be after we have a temporary support from the device, so they can repair or they can heal by themselves. So at that time, so the material we put into the body won't necessarily stay there. So at the beginning, so they can start to think about durable. Okay, from the durable like a stainless steel, copper chromium, change into the like a polymer base, because at the beginning, all the degradable material based on the polymer base, like polylactic acid, polyglycolic acid, all those kind of terms you've been heard. But because those materials are degradable product and mechanical property, but not still not as good as the metal. So later, about 15 years ago, they found that this degradable polymer switched to the metal. Okay, so from the periodic table, we know metal. The metal we know usually they are durable, stable, and strong and stiff. But from the periodic on the left-hand side, so some of the elements they are very active. So like lithium, magnesium, some are very they put it in some environmental, they will disintegrate or even disappear eventually. So later we are big research group on the degradable metal is based on those applications. Since we are going to use implant, so put it into the body, so biocompatibility suitable for the body is very important. So far, main three systems, magnesium, zinc, and iron. So these three systems are most common heavily investigated. So today we'll focus on the first one, magnesium. Okay, show you the story why the magnesium can be used as or suitable for degradable metal. Okay, so this is simple. So the durable metal like stainless steel, copper, chromium, titanium are most common. And because those metal, one of the big challenges is so-called stress shielding. The term because the young materials is much higher than bone, so they become because stress shielding the reason. So the surrounding bone become the atrophy. So usually when we work on the low stainless steel, titanium, they all working on the low stiffness, low moderate material. But the magnesium, the moderate is only about 40, about double about the cortical bone. So stainless about 10 times higher than the cortical bone. So from mechanical point of view is magnesium has low steaming, low moderate, without the severe stress shielding effect. Okay. So the other main challenge is biocompatibility. Is magnesium suitable for put into the body? Because magnesium is one of the most important elements concerned in the human body. Currently in other sports field, as some athletes, when after the exercise they sweat a lot, so the reason they strongly recommend them to drink the water with magnesium ion. So it's also certainly the magnesium is among inside the body about force abundant element inside the body. So it's about mostly inside the bone. Okay. So also play important role to determine the bone fragility and also the composition increase with the higher magnesium into the bone will increase the elasticity of the bone. So it's all very important. Also, we present the magnesium effect on also the biological effect is they can help the osteoblast differentiation. So because we want to help the bone regeneration, bone heal, so we can help the osteoblast is certainly is a big point. Okay. Okay. So, but one of the challenges for the magnesium is because it's too active. So usually it's put into the body usually around 2 to 4 weeks. It will lose its integrity. So from material science view, we need to improve its alloys corrosion resistance. So this is basically the material science field. We know lots of the approach can change the property. So lots of research will focus on the first issue is try to improve the alloys, the low magnesium alloys corrosion resistance. Okay. So what the other can be used besides just mentioning like a magnesium wire for ligation? In the future, part of the more promising is magnesium plate or the magnesium screw. Okay, so this is some of the future, especially the most challenging. Also work on this for several years, cardiovascular stent. Okay. And also some of the wire and some of the screw. And some of you have the commercial. So like for example, in this figure, you can see we have a hairline fracture of the bone. So we put a magnesium screw penetrate, go through this fracture gap. So when the bone heals, so the pin disappears. So it's a very ideal story. Okay. So is that, and also in about 5 to 6 years ago, we already have a commercial product based on this material. But since magnesium is relatively weak and also the soft. So usually non-able can be used like a stainless steel. Also, the degradable magnesium probably only can use in like a lower bearing area. So like a hand, like a neck, or your foot, or toe. Okay, so this is some example. Maybe you can use a magnesium alloy. So the best idea, so since it's degradable, so we need to know the biological function about the healing. Okay, so this is the healing process for the bone. So it's so we basically the material design, because magnesium, because we can go through the material approach to change the property, change the degradation profile. So we certainly want to match the healing of the bone. So this the different approach can alter the property of material, magnesium property. So this is just some example. Integrity of the material and the green curve show the strength or remaining of the magnesium, and the orange one show the strength of the bone. So certainly all similar to tissue engineering, we need to match the temporal profile. Okay, so here some of like other signal pathway, how the magnesium inside the cell change the DNA and RNA. So it's not go through all the detail. So the next, because the time limit, I'll just show some research in the past 10 years in my lab we have been working on. So this is also some example. Possibly in our lab we will try to investigate. So first, certainly this wire and the pin, and also I think the most advanced is this screw. This suture anchor screw is for the support mechanism in the shoulder. So we have a labrum tear, so we can use it to repair, especially those isolate with the overhead isolate. Okay, so this just because. Basically, just show you the idea. So we have magnesium as idea for degradable metal, and we need to improve some of the property. So this is some of the material approaches. So we'll not go to all the research detail. So basically, in the material field, I don't know is there a student from the material science engineering. So this is the metallography. Okay, so you see the grain and the grain structure, grain distribution. So we will tell the story what happened to the material after the processing. So this is the mechanical strength and the Young's modulus and the ductility. So after the heat treatment can improve the strength and ductility. Okay, so this is just all approved. And also we use SCM to see the image after the immersion test. We see what kind of mechanism happened after the immersion, what's the degradation profile mechanism. So from the heat treatment, we will see because one they will have a presentation from magnesium zinc. Okay, so this green one means a stronger reinforced phase. Okay, so this phase, reinforced phase, will stay inside the grain or surrounding the matrix. Okay, so the different mechanism we can assume we can illustrate what the mechanism, what the change inside the structure. Okay. So also improve also the corrosion resistance and also the cell compatibility. So this is the basic fundamental we from the material point of view. Okay, we will try to do. Okay, and then this is the one idea. So this fluorination. Okay, after the fluorination, you can see certainly the magnesium fluoride we will become more corrosion resistant. But because of those material after this fluorination will create a lot of crack on the surface. So usually, since we have crack, so we will try to fill this crack with ceramic. So we first in this study with hydroxyapatite because it is similar to the bone composition. So we can fill up the bone, fill up the gap, and further improve the corrosion resistance. Okay, fluorination and the hydroxyapatite. Okay, so because since like this kind of fluorination approach or hydroxyl or micro oxidation. They will create the surface protection layer, but they will have some defect on the surface. So the data will study focus on fill up the gap, so we can further coating with the other material, mostly in the polymer material or biological material. So since they can further protect the corrosion resistance. On the other hand, because we have polymer or biological material, so we can carry with some of the drug. So to improve, beside some of like growth factor or some other enhance the osteo regeneration or other some iron, some because usually if you can have some simple iron, they can provide a similar outcome. So it's also the other approach. So a lot of research, my students work on those kind of research. Okay. So this fluoridation, you can see the surface, and we can see can improve corrosion resistance. And also during magnesium oxidation, they create a lot of hydrogen. Okay, it's also a big issue for the hydrogen, the polymer material. Okay, so it's degradable. Okay. Sorry, I should skip that one. Okay, it's related to the dentistry. Okay, this is some idea. It's called a micro arc with phenolic modification. So we can see the arc. There's the surface, the pit, the pit being filled with some phenolic acid. So this is some idea. So because this one will. No, so this the other approach is this micro oxidation, just similar to this kind of appearance. So the phenol acid was selectively oxidated and fiber-bread adhesion. So sometimes the term is selective because sometimes with application we have different cells around this area. So we want to promote the osteoblasts without the fibroblasts because it will hinder the healing of the bone. Okay, so sometimes we will separate test those kind of cells to see will they have different effect. Okay, so this is the suture anchor we work on some of the animal study. Okay, so this is the process. Just show the process. Okay, this is different kind of. So previously the bone so also can work on the so-called the gallic acid. So this for the stent. Okay, so just the approach is similar, just the same similar material, just the only different property is test in the different kind of cell. Also, the purpose is just try to test the selectively. Okay, so in the future we try to use magnesium to stent. The diameter only about 2 to 3 millimeter. So this is one of the study we can use the stent. I also work on zinc and also other stuff because the time limit. I will just stop over here. Okay, and also because it's just a traditional material science study, but only the testing method is we need to do a lot of biological study, also the cell culture and some even the animal study. That's histology. Okay, so there's a nanoparticle coating. Okay. So this also work on the different kind of, this is work on the zinc used for the stent, okay? So lots of different study and also lots of the material science study, the cell culture, cell adhesion, okay? Okay, so that's this is the old version, so I give the wrong version, okay? Sorry, that was stop here, just to show the last page for the chronology for the collaborator. So work lots of the beside the rate and also rapid. I also work on a couple of the sheep. Okay, large animal. Okay, so this is just a process we need to work on to prove this device, this material is workable. Okay, thank you. That's about time. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Ming Longye, for your nice talk. And we are now approaching our last speaker, Professor Han-Sang Chuang, and he will deliver the topic about innovative bead-based biosensing technologies in biomedical applications. So, Prof. Chuang, the time is yours.
Thank you so much for Professor Morita's introduction. But actually, I have been working with Professor Morita for a while, and so in the following the introduction, maybe some of the work that will be related to our collaboration. So actually, I am also from biomedical engineering. My expertise is about developing some biosensing technology. But because of the time limitation, maybe I won't mention all of them. So I will only focus on 4 topics, which will all be related to bee-based biosensors. Okay. Laptop is not responding. 我直接按这个没有，对，你按的也没有，你的卡住了。cursor 是没有转到那里。你是同步还是？Okay. Right now, so the reason that we are interested in biosensing bee-based biosensors because they are like guided missiles. So unlike you developed only one sensor, when you have you functionalize the surface of the particles and then you spread them into your medium, such as some body fluids, then they can be everywhere. All right. So you can target many your objects at the same time. So they're quite useful, and sometimes you can use active, passive ways to control them. So many possibilities. And right in this figure here, you can see by simply functional particles with the different linkers, then you can capture different targets, such as like bacteria, virus, proteins, even though exosomes, which is very hot topic nowadays, or nucleic acids. We have already been study cells, virus, protein, exosome, and nucleic acids. So we have already proven of them they can work with our particles. And here there are 4 topics that I'm going to talk about, and I try to talk about them as fast as I can because I know that the time has already been lasting for a long time. So everybody might be sitting here for a while. So I try to just speed up as fast as I can. But basically, here are the 4 topics that they are all related to bee-based biosensors, such as photonic crystal biosensors, and active controlling using some optoelectromechanical way, and the diffusometry, which is a passive way to control particles, and also another way using surface acoustic waves. Right. So before I get started, here is an interesting picture, which is stereogram. I'm not sure if everybody can tell that you see anything in this stereogram. Right. If you cannot read the message in the stereogram in 5 seconds, maybe you need a longer time. Some people they're just talented. They can read this immediately. For me, I think that I have already read this because I generated this stereogram myself. So I know that there is a hidden message here. But I guess that maybe no one has successfully seen anything, right? So maybe, if you are interested, you can come back to me after this seminar. I can show you again, all right? So, but we know this is a stereogram. Actually, it is not just a random, code there. There's a message, right? So, or picture figures. It's like what I'm going to talk about for this topic, which is diffusometry. it's based on diffusion, Brownian motion. And Brownian motion, everybody knows, it's kind of the random. It's a thermal motion. It depends on some random motion that happens to particles. So most of the people, especially in double E, they always told me that it's useless, it's just noise. They want to get rid of them. But for me, I think we found something interesting. All right, so that's why we keep digging in, and then eventually we have some successful results out of it. So we know from this is from Stokes-Einstein equation, right? So Einstein has already shown us that this equation 100 years, maybe not less 100, just several decades ago. And we know as long as we can correlate this particle temperature, viscosity, then you will be able, you find a way, all right, to see the secrets inside the particles. So it's all about the vibration, right? But this is the primary motion, and actually there is a secondary motion which is related to rotational diffusion. And it was discovered by Debye. So there is the new equation is called Stokes-Einstein Debye equation, right? So if you can find a secondary motion, then you find an even more powerful way to decode the particle. So what we would like to study is an unmet need that is related to superbugs, because we know superbugs that have already troubled humans for a long time. Since Fleming, they discovered antibiotics 100 years ago, but we have already run out of our weapon in the arsenal. So we have to deal with this as soon as possible. So that's why it inspires to just find some way to reduce this kind of drug abuse, right? And our approach is that we found actually we can reduce the time, waiting time, because AST is the conventional way nowadays in the hospital. It's called antimicrobial susceptibility testing. It takes usually 3 to 5 days. But if you're thinking about some paperwork, it's even longer, right? So many people died before you really know how to deal with those particles. So if you can reduce the time, then actually you find a way to kill the bugs. So it's all that simple. So our approach is that we use the particles, and Brownian motion, they are related to particles. Particles, they are very sensitive, so they can respond this change related to the environment. So what we did was we functionalized the particles with some linkers, and they will capture the bacteria. So with and without bacteria, their Brownian motion will be different. So we can tell the pattern, and eventually we can just decode the secret. All right. So our approach, it takes only about 3.5 hours. Compared to 3-5 days, I think it reduced this a lot. The waiting time a lot. So right here, according to our clinical test, blind clinical test, we can go up to the accuracy over 91 or 92%. So that is comparable to some commercial products nowadays. But we still keep improving this technology using our approach. Other than that, that is our first generation. Our second generation, we have already used this rotational Brownian motion. So instead of using just particles, we use so-called genus particles, which has the two phases. Right? Using the genus particles, they will not just move, they will blink, because when they randomly rotate, you see they blinking. Right? And under my SEM images, you can see they do show this two phases, the characteristics. And when we capture our targets, you can see they are all captured and coated around the particles. And this the animation just to show how they are captured by the particles and change the motion. So this video shows how they blinked under the microscope. So you can see they literally blinked very well, just like twinkle twinkle little star. You see it in the Milky Way, right? Just simply see how they blinked, then you will know the result, and you can quantify them. So I think the most people can do that. And compared with ELISA, which is a standard method nowadays, our method can achieve probably 2 orders of magnitude. ELISA is around 1 nanograms per milliliter, but ours we can achieve about 1 picogram per milliliter, right? So it's about like a 2 to 3 orders of magnitude better. So we used this to deal with nucleic acid amplification because when nowadays, especially during the pandemic, everybody suffered from long waiting for the result, and it was very expensive. But using it this way, we just simply spread particles into the medium, and then you give a temperature to do the amplification, and in just 10 to 15 minutes, you will know the result. So you can do the quantification, and everything is faster. And most important of all, it is cheaper, right? And so most people can do this simply in your lab. But what you have to do is that you just need to have the genus particles, right? We have already shipped the genus particles to Professor Morita's lab, so they have these weapons, secret weapons, so they can do this easily. Because it is, in this case, when you amplify nucleic acids, what changes is viscosity, right? So the micro viscosity change cannot be measured by any kind of the existing equipment. But using our magnetous particles, here in this video, you can see, I'm not sure if it is still running or not. Okay, it is still running, but probably not too clear. It's very dim. Here, without amplification, it blink faster. But after amplification, because of viscosity increases, so it blinked slowly. So actually you have the target nucleic acids. All right. So we do some quantification, and we observed that within 10 minutes, we can see our target, which is a piece of the target in COVID-19, NSP2. And with the same nucleic acids, and we can detect the concentration as low as 1 picogram per microliter. Right. Compared to the gel images, actually, it stops at 10 picogram per microliter. So our can be much better. And it takes 20 minutes, but in our method, we take only 10 minutes. So it's faster, and we can detect the lower concentration, which means you can detect in a very early stage. Right? So that is about the diffusion. And another method, which is related to particle manipulation, we use a method depending on electrokinetic method, which is we call rapid electrokinetic patterning, REP, and it manipulates particles. So we concentrate particles, and that's how we can enhance the signal, right? So in these videos, we just demonstrate 4 methods that we can manipulate particles: concentration, translation, and this is like a sorting. It can sort 5 micron. And nanoparticles, and we can do the patterning. We can pattern that depending on the shape of our light. So if you have a hologram, you have a geometry you generate, then it will pattern. Okay, so using the platform, we are able to enhance the signal, immunofluorescence, right? So especially for low fluorescence, because they spread everywhere in the body fluid. So if you have this method, it will concentrate. So even though low concentration can be observed and measured. So in this method, we target at the tear samples, and there are 2 biomarkers, proteins that we try to study, which they are all biomarkers for a disease called diabetic retinopathy. Which is a complication of the chronic diabetes. So VEGF and lipocalin-1, and you can see if we just divided it into 4 quadrants. Here, this potential diabetic retinopathy patients, that they all fall in this the first quadrant, right? And the healthy, they are here, or the other disease that they fall just into the other two quadrants. So using this the quadrant, you can, and these the two markers, along with our platform, then you will be able to just quantify this disease easily. So this disease in the past, the ophthalmologists, they complained that the screening rate is low because most of the patients, they have to waste half of their day to the hospital because they have to use the diedric to dilate their iris. And after that, they lose the ability to work, to drive, so they have to stay for a while until they restore their vision so they can go back to work. So that's why most of the people that they choose not to do that, because for diabetic retinopathy it is not lethal. So most of the people, they will feel it danger their life when it is the last stage, but that is too late. So if you can intervene as early as possible, then that'll be the key, right? So this the method just provides a method that can provide those the patients this kind of the method to intervene as soon as possible. And the third topic that I would like to show you is about surface acoustic platform, which also actively manipulate the particles. So again, we use the same fluid samples from tear, and they contain all the biomarkers that we are interested. So using the platform, we can also concentrate. Right. The previous way we use electrokinetic method, but the drawback of the data method is it is limited to the conductivity, and we know most of our body fluids that they have the high conductivity. In order not to be limited by the conductivity, we move on to this platform. So using surface acoustic method, we don't need to process the sample in advance. All right, we can simply collect your sample and then drop it into the platform and then do the concentration. All right, so the basic idea is all the same, but just with the different technology. So here, the two videos shows that with the concentration, without concentration, with the different size of the particles, they will. The larger one will be concentrated in the center. The small one, they will be just moved to the periphery of the droplet. So we use the big particles to capture our proteins. So those proteins that they're labeled with the dye. So when they are concentrated in the center, we will see the fluorescence. Right? Otherwise, they will go to the periphery of the droplet, which means you have to know the biomarkers, so you are saved from the disease. Right? So the same idea, but different platform technologies. So we will be able to do the same thing. And after quantification, we see that the specificity is pretty good compared to other irrelevant biomarkers. Only lubricating one, which is the biomarker we are interested, shows the highest signal. And with and without, so you can also see the very significant difference. All right. So this platform really enhance and speed up this process. And we did the calibration for lubricating one, and we realized we eventually achieved 40 picograms per milliliter, right? Limit of detection. So this is the real video showing how how this platform performed the detection from the beginning to the end, right, with our tear fluid. Of course, we speed up a little bit, but it doesn't really take much time. Still within several minutes, and then you can achieve. Right. So and here is how we collected tear fluids from our patients. So it's very interesting to see that actually, female, they can just secrete the tears faster and more than male. For some reason. So usually we have trouble, collecting those tear fluids from our male subjects. that's something just interesting we observed. But it, of course, has nothing to do with our results, our studies. Okay, and the last one is related to a platform which we would like to develop it as a part of the care testing, right? Just like paper-based testing that people can bring them home and do that test it themselves, so they don't need to go to the clinical hospital to wait a long time, even though it doesn't really, it has already been improved a lot, but we wanted to develop such a kind of device so people can easily do that. So the same disease, diabetic retinopathy, but we developed this kind of the platform which is based on a very interesting device which is called photonic crystal. Right? We have the particles that they stick up in order, and then they will show this kind of the photonic crystal phenomenon. And with our particle, with our target just capture on the surface, they will interact with the photonic crystal, so they will enhance the fluorescence, right? So in this study, we see that with and without this, with and without, you can see the enhancement, right? On the top row, it is enhanced by our photonic crystal, and on the bottom row shows without the photonic crystal enhancement. So if your concentration is low, then this enhancement really helps. So you can see very low concentration, right? And with the different concentration, of course, this is also dose dependent. It goes linearly, from low to high, and so eventually we achieve like 1.3 to 1.7 milligrams per milliliter lipocating 1 limit of detection. All right, so that is the photonic crystal. So we developed this as a disposable platform. So you can bring it home and put a drop of tear into the chip, and then it will show you this fluorescent enhancement, and you can just dispose of this chip after that. Right, so these are the 4 B-based biosensors we developed. Some of them are active, some of them are passive. You can see that. But overall, I think they are all helped to improve the concentration and also the testing time. Right, so that is the end of my presentation here about some research that is going on in our lab. And I would like to thank some of our collaborators, including UGM, and also the funding agency and my students. And one of the students is also sitting here, Fitri. She helped me, but she will have her defense later. So maybe she goes back to prepare her defense. Okay, so that's all. And so maybe if later you have the question, I would be happy to answer a question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Chuang, for interesting talk. And before we enter the discussion, please give a big applause for our 5 professors that have been delivered the lecture today. And now I would like to open 3 questions first. So please reach the nearest microphone and don't forget to introduce yourself and to whom you will address the question. Yeah. Please don't be shy. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Suyetno. I'm from mechanical engineering, and for the last 10 years, we work on medical device innovation and medical device research. And we also already have medical implant, specifically on orthopedic implant. I would like to ask for, first of all, for Professor Fong Chin Su, maybe you can answer our question about the commercialization after research, because this is also important issue for us, specifically in relation with the product for biomedical product or medical implant, for example, like this. We want to know how in Taiwan the relation between the biomedical engineer or biomedical research is in this case, in relation with a medical doctor or clinician, because sometimes it's not an easy relation between engineer and medical doctor because of different point of view. Also, there is some kind of maybe low trust maybe with national product, for example. I don't know how it can happen, but actually maybe clinician, they have strong trust to Western product or Western implant, for example, instead of our national implant, for example, like this. So maybe you can tell us how in Taiwan actually. And also I read also in this presentation about startup and acceleration. What you call? I will see. Startup and acceleration center. What actually the function of this center? Is there any relation with the spin-off of the product or on the research in the university or maybe other thing that's maybe I don't know. So maybe you can tell us how actually in Taiwan is, and yeah, that's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good question. Yeah, so congratulations that you already catch the point, because you know, based on your past 10-year experiences. And okay, actually commercialization is most important for medical innovation. So actually we learn a lot from Stanford Biodesign, even Minnesota Medical Innovation Center. Actually, because you know that most advanced world-renowned medical devices company actually located in Twin City. So, and I would highlight that it's quite important to consider the technology actually only consisted of about 20% of value chain, 60% actually in marketing, business. So it's quite important, for startup company has such kind of a mindset, especially to how to work with, how to recruit capable, CFO, Chief Financial Officer. And the other question related to collaboration with clinician. I think in my slide, I think that's the reason why I highlight how we establish our program, starting from our biomedical engineering graduate program, in the same year as medical center establishment, in NCKU. So I highlight that from the first state of BME graduate program, we recruit a medical doctor as our student. So actually we have a common language based on more than 30 years. It's right now actually division leader, a lot of division leaders in hospital, NCK hospital, actually, are our BME alumni. So how to establish one graduate program, to bridge the gap between engineers and clinicians. That's the most efficient way. So you can consider to reform your graduate program, And the other concept actually, for innovation, from the first day you're supposed to work closely, even especially to have unmet clinical need directly from a clinician. Then through a collaboration as a team, then usually I would like to say that those surgeons, we think that this project is one of his babies. So, the clinician, the surgeon, will devote himself or herself, whole life, to incubate this staff. It's quite important, especially sooner or later, clinical trial, even, it's quite important, even first in human. We need, work closely with the clinicians. So that teamwork is quite important. And I think I forgot the last question. What was the last question?
It's about the Center of Innovation. What's the relation between those two centers, like the Sparks and other centers? Is it correct, Profit? No?
I read in the presentation about startup and acceleration center.
Oh, I see. I think
what actually
it's actually quite important. Yeah, right. Actually, so-called patent filing is quite important because all innovation, must be with patent protection. And actually, the owner of the patent belongs to university, So inventor actually, inventor is actually different from owner. So actually the staff, so that means the staff companies must share certain % of loyalty with the university. So that's the way. And as in MDIC, we think that actually it's a platform, So you must think that the win-win strategy. Actually, the success of medical devices rely on win-win strategies, especially for commercialization. Actually, it's quite different from viewpoint of engineers. So that reason, you must invite interdisciplinary stakeholders, including the VC, to give you advice, even consultant. It's quite important, not only technology.
Yeah, I can add up on this because the accelerator staff is bring up. Okay, I'm in charge of staff and accelerator at NCK, and also also work in the Spark. So so-called accelerator basically need to provide all the resource for the startup. Okay, so especially for the medical device, because the medical device need the regulation. Also, the market is special. As you just mentioned because most of the surgeons or in the medical field, they won't trust the new product. Okay, so they will, especially especially if you already have insurance, will pay for this product. Usually, they won't change because if you take a risk, maybe some malfunction or some complication. But for us, because we are engineers, we try to make our product into the market. But for the product into the market at the beginning, before you go to the market, it's a long path. Not only from the you can have a prototype from the lab. You need most important pass the regulation. Okay, because all the country and also domestic also need to pass a regulation. And regulation for the faculty member usually not so familiar and also spend a lot of money to work on, to solve this issue, provide a lot of resource. And also, besides the regulation for the medical device, all the legal issue like business development, accounting, especially for the like a stock option. I just mentioned I have just established a company this month. But all the stock option, who invest how much money, and which stage you invest the money, what's the share, what's the value, they will need it design at the beginning. And usually the faculty member were not familiar with that. So in the accelerator, also in the Spark, they provide lots of lecture, or provide lots of like accountant, or like some of the company, they can help the start company to establish everything about that one. And also the marketing, the business development, also the selling. This is also a different field, completely different from in our lab. So usually in Taiwan, we already have several accelerators, but the most we need to provide a resource. Find a suitable people, provide a suitable resource for those startups. As eventually, certainly, the funding is very important. So the venture capital, the matching is very important. Find your product has potential. You have promising value in the future. So we can venture capital. So they will fund your product at the early stage. So certainly they want expect rewards maybe 5 times, 10 times. If they invest 1 million, they want the rewarding maybe 10 million or 1 billion. So this is why they invested, but certainly the risk is very high. So this is just for the purpose of accelerator. So we provide all the resource, all the funding, all the resource matching, all the from the beginning, from the education. In the Spark, we provide all the things I just mentioned. We provide all the course, some workshop. We invite those those they already has experience, they have star experience, or they are in the venture capital, I see a lot of the star company. So they all provide not resource management, also some or even provide mentoring. Okay, stay with this company, grow with them. Okay.
Yeah, maybe another question from the audience, from students maybe.
There's one.
Yeah, so please.
Okay, thank you for the change. My name is Salma Kamila, and I'm from the 3rd semester of this study program. I would like to ask some questions to Prof. Guo Shengcheng about the medical image. The first question is, there any struggle during your research, and could you tell how to handle it, especially in the medical imaging? And then the second question is, since machine learning is can be accepted by human, especially for clinical purpose, is there any advice for developing deep learning to make it more understandable to humans or more humanized? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. The first one would be the struggling for my research. I mean, when you want to apply the image processing in the medical field, then actually the first step is the programming. Usually, the people do not like to programming. You know, they kind of sort of afraid of the programming. They say another tool or something like that. But you know, currently Python and different kind of machine learning is very important, right? So usually, not just EE or computer science engineering, they have this kind of capability to do the programming using the Python. But on the other hand, you can sort of use some of the MATLAB. It's kind of package-like programming. They sort of many toolbox, so you can use that very easily instead of final to tune your systems. So I would suggest the case when you apply the image processing, usually the tool, the programming would be the obstacles for the students. They would afraid of to do that. Okay, and actually for the second question is about the application to solve the problem with the machine learning, and then how it affect the real world problem, something like that. And I think because the deep learning is current trained, but you know, deep learning need to have a big database, right? So you need to collect a lot of database, but not just the database itself. You need to have a good data with labeled data. But currently, usually the doctors, they don't spend a lot of time for you to annotation for that. Even they say they try to collaborate with you, but they don't spend time with you for annotation for that. So it's a problem. So currently when we need to collaborate with some W computer science partner, such as I collaborate with the computer science expert, the professor in the WE department. They try to solve this problem based on the computer technology. I just mentioned that, such as student and teacher model is one of that. Because you only have a very limited amount of data, and then you can develop your own models for that. And after that, you try to collect many data without labeling. But you can use your model to adapt all different kinds of model and then try to learn all the data set. And then you can use this model to fit all different kinds of medical center. So that would be the problem actually currently. The reason why there's a lot of TFDA or FDA approval medical devices, software as medical devices currently, but probably they don't spread a lot of different centers. They only fit for some centers. But the interpretability or some of the some of the problem would relate to this kind of a problem because you need to let it become as a multi-center type. So how can you solve this, not just rely on the data itself? You need to rely on some of technology to try to solve this kind of problem. So this is the reason why usually computer science, they are not just apply the technology itself. They also try to figure out how can we solve a limited amount of data instead of big database. And the other part would be how can the medical doctors, they provide good annotation data, but sometimes the good annotation data just rely on some center would be you just train a model, fit themselves, not a global type, and then you cannot pass the software as medical devices regulation. Because if you try to pass the software as a medical device regulation, then you need to meet a lot of centers. There will be some constraint for that, such as interpretability or multi-center data type. There will be there, or multi-machine variation for that. So there will be, I think there will be the problem for that. Yeah. Thank you. And probably related to the previous question about how to the medical device, because I review a lot of proposal in our country, such as a startup proposed by some medical university or university. Actually, there are kind of key questions for that. What is the business model for your medical devices? Usually, being as an engineer, you try to develop a complete set of medical devices, right? But sometimes it won't in that way. Because when you finish all of this, then you might cost a lot of money for that. And sometimes you would burn out all the money for the company, So the problem is, before that, think about how could you modify your device and then meet the clinical needs, and then to have some business model. The business model will be very important for that. The second one would be the CEO for your startup company. Because sometimes they will really burn out your money very quickly if they don't have a good way to seek some money for the venture capitals. So the CEO will be another way. You need to have some correlation, or you need to have some social networking to the venture capitals, and then they invest your money for different stage of the medical devices development.
Yeah. Any other question from the audience?
Yeah, welcome any question. If you will try to learn the National Cheng Kung University for some further study, then you're also welcome.
Other question maybe?
Yeah, there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fitri, and I am a master's student in Biomedical Engineering UGM. I want to ask, actually, this is a quite general question. from all of the professor here, is there any internship opportunity? And then, is there possible to do collaboration research? Maybe for the other student here, because last year I went to NCKU for internship with Prof. Han Seng Chuang with IIPP program. Maybe the other professor have the other internship opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Fitri. I thought you will ask about the question for your defense. This.
I can answer you. Connectivity, friendship. That's the first step.
Well, actually, I will have some slides to show everybody about our internship and graduate schools. So if you are interested in following the same way as the feature she did it last year, then I will provide information, because I remember Marita, she leaves some time for me to just show the slides. So yeah, I will have this information specific, especially about the money, how much that you can apply for. So that will support at least the time you stayed in Taiwan. That's quite enough.
Probably I just add one of that, because in our National Science and Technology Councils, they would provide some of the internship for the PhD program, actually, currently. So we would like to have a PhD student, okay? So probably you can enter the PhD program and then set up some sort of that and apply for the support for the National Science and Technology Councils for that.
According to my understanding, our VME program, VME department, we have received 32 foreign students for internship. And probably 95% of them receive stipends.
Yeah, maybe Prof. Chuang, if you have your slide ready, then you can share a bit about the IIPP internship and also the TEEP. Yeah, for your information, after Fitri this year, another student from BME will also join.
Right. Now that next week, there have already been students talking about this issue, so maybe it's about time for me to spend several slides to show you around our department and some information of the internship and graduate study. So if you are interested, maybe you can think about that and put it into your career plan. Also tell your family and other friends, other students about this information. So if you act right now, then there's a high possibility that you'll get it. Right. So our university actually, this is the motto of our university: seek for truth and toil for good. And our university is located in the southern part of Taiwan. Here, so now we have several international airports. So the nearby is the Kaohsiung International Airport. So it's pretty close, about maybe 41-hour drive. So you can come to our campus. And
40 minutes, not 41 hours.
It depends on what transportation tool. If you drive, of course it'll be faster. But if you take the local train, it'll take longer. So it depends on the transportation tool. But it's within 1 hour. Then you will reach our campus. So it's pretty close. And we have a science park also around our university. So we have a very strong industry support. So if you're interested in semiconductors and you are going to develop your career related to that industry, then I think it's a good choice to study at the National Tsinghua University. National Tsinghua University is famous for its engineering study. So it's we are very proud to say that we're probably top one. If you are thinking about engineering, right, it's top one in Taiwan. And we also have the many collaboration with other partners around the world, including UGM. And this is our main campus. We have other campuses in different districts. The main campus is here, and the train station is just next to our university. So transportation is not a problem. And here you see an arrow. It indicates our department is located at the corner. But if you walk from the train station to our department, it's about 15 to 20-minute walk. So also not very far away. And we are surrounded by everything. If you're thinking about like food, entertainment, and all this stuff, it's all in the walking distance. So very convenient. Our department is actually, we belong to College of Engineering. Some people think that we belong to medical school, but we are engineering. And our department established in 1988, right? Our graduate master program started, and then 1993 we started our PhD program, and 2011 we started our undergraduate program, right? So now we have all these programs, comprehensive programs in our department. We also have another institute, graduate institute called MDI. It was established in 2017. So we have the 2 graduate institutes and 1 undergraduate program, and until right now. And we also have a very good collaboration with MDIC, which was introduced by Professor Su just now. So right now, in our department, we have a total 377 students as of the 2024. Thinking about undergraduate, it's 168, and a graduate master plus the PhD 2009. So it's a bit larger than our undergraduate because every year we recruit 35 students. But of course, later on we have some transfer students and foreign students, and then it grows a little bit. So eventually it becomes about like 40 some students. And here, international students about 69. So we grow every year because I just heard some news from our Office of International Affairs. They told me that we have to increase our recruit for international students because we have too many students applied to our department, so we cannot just we have to increase. Otherwise, the rate is too low. The admission rate is too low. So that's what I heard recently. So that means our international student increased rapidly in recent years. But so far, it's about 18%, undergraduate and graduate overall. And we have international students from many countries such as Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indian, and also some several students from Paraguay and like Korean, South Korean, and some interns they are from other like US and Europe. Right, so this is the composition of our international students, and we have the 5 research groups. So they almost cover every field in biomedical engineering. So I believe that whichever you are interested, probably that they have already you can find the groups that you can join in these 5. Right. For undergraduate, you are not forced to choose your group, but if you are a graduate student, then you have to think carefully about the group you are going to join because that will be related to your advisor. And our core curriculum also covers all these 5 groups and all the topics. So whatever you are interested in, like a business in the future, you want to start up the company, and you would like to focus more in the research, in medicine, or you want to develop some engineering stuff, then you can all find the best fit in our department. And the best things for and the most friendly part for graduate international student is our graduate courses. They are all taught in English. Undergraduate, probably just some courses, but for graduate levels, now they are all taught in English. So you can always find these courses you can take. You don't need to worry about a language barrier. Right, so eventually you can, either you come back to your country, or you keep developing your career in Taiwan, or you go to other different industries. These are the research fields that you can think of after studying at our department. These are some facts. Right, so our location is actually between our hospital and engineering. So it's kind of reflecting our role in this department. We are bridged between a medical school and clinical doctors and engineers. All right, this kind of answer the question that the professor just asked. Because we have already tried to merge and cultivate talents in both the sides. So we are not only foster students from engineering or from single departments. We foster all the talents from everywhere, right, who are interested in biomedical engineering. So we have the common language that people can communicate with each other. So after they graduate from here, then they have the ability to deal with some multidisciplinary work. And we also share a lot of the stuff, the faculty. So we have actually a lot of the resources that we can collaborate and also share with other different departments. And our students and PhD, they are clinicians, right? So that's why once they graduate, they understand what the roles in the engineering part can help them. Then they can just bring in more resources. So the people will be our seeds. So we will cultivate a common language in the future. So that's why, after so many decades, it worked very well. And the medical device has already been a very hot topic in Taiwan nowadays. And because we try to cultivate those clinicians, so once they go back, they have already been very significant. They have already been in very significant positions, so they can also help us, each other. And here comes the two important things related to students. So for our graduate program, we have of course the master and PhD, and we offer all the scholarships. These are from it doesn't cover everything. We still have more others. All right. Here I only list something that I know. For PhD level, we have the university level, which rank the highest. Right. It provides the most stipend and tuition waiver, everything to students. So one of my PhD student, he's from India. He got this one because nowadays, the students, especially our domestic students, that they are not interested in PhD anymore. So we recruit most international students. So it's if you really have the talent and you have a very good academic performance, then you have a high chance to get the scholarship from our university. Right. There are also other scholarships from the Ministry of Education and also from our College of Engineering. Our dean actually is here. If you want to seek some scholarship from our College of Engineering, he is waving, sitting in the back. Then you just talk to him. When he say yes, then you got it. And master scholarships, we have the two levels. The first level that you, of course, not just the tuition waiver, you also get a stipend from the university. And also Professor Sood, he provides a lot of the funds for international students as well, because he really encourages international students to study in our department. So we got extra from MDIC, right? And matching fund for advisor. So you probably won't see such a good scholarship ever. And at the second level, you also you might not have this stipend, but you still keep the stipend from DIC and your advisor. Right? As I know, most advisors, they provide not more than that, not only 2,000. So you can expect more. So you can do the calculation actually, how you can survive in a foreign country. I think because in southern Taiwan, it's unlike the northern Taiwan. The living expense is not that expensive, so it's quite enough for a student to survive, and sometimes you can save some money for some future use. Regarding students, if you have not made your decision yet and you want to just give it a try, our government also provides these 2 internships. All right, these are 2 major internships that have been well known worldwide. Like every day I receive a lot of the applications from mostly Indian and then Vietnam, Thailand, and sometimes Indonesia. I got several right now. So it has already been very well known. And the internship programs that they are IPPM that tipped. So I think the priority, if you have never been to Taiwan, of course, you have a priority, right? And also it's for all levels. But I have to be honest, if you are undergraduate and master student, maybe your most professors that they will prefer that the most, because you have the potential to just study in Taiwan. And that is also one of the purposes, because we want you to test, and then if you feel like, yeah, I want to do the study here, then you just continue your study in Taiwan, then that is one of the purposes. So if you are undergraduate and master students, then you have a higher chance than PhD student. All right, so for IPP, you can log on to this open, probably started from January, and then you can keep applying until probably September, because you need to be accepted 3 months before, right? In the end, if you apply like December, then you have no time to complete your internship in Taiwan. So it must be at least 3 months before. But literally, I think it will end in July, most labs, because they probably won't accept after September, because once they have the deal with you, and then the paperwork might not be done just before September. So usually it will be before July or August, right? So if you are still interested, then you still have time to work on that. Otherwise, you have to wait until next year. You started from January, and it is 30,000 per month, and it lasts for 3 months. So you can do the calculation. So it's quite good. Also, Professor Marita, she has one student coming this summer, and he got this one. So every professor usually have the probably two space, right? So more than 2 space, maybe you have to seek the other professor, or I don't know if it is possible to be more than 3. But as far as I know, only 2. But still, if you need the third space, then I think I have some other under table way to do it, so I can help you with that, right? And the tip internship, all right, this half, but still this provides more. Our department, we are very active, so we have because this needs to be from the department, so we have already applied a lot. So right this year, I guess that like Professor Su mentioned, we have 30-some, so we really have a lot. Right, so if you cannot, get this internship, then this might be another alternative that you can choose for, right? And overall, I guess that this should be enough to support your living in Taiwan, because if you live on campus, it's really cheap, right? So and the rest of the money will be enough to support your airline ticket and your accommodation and everything. So it's quite enough, right? If you would like to try that, then this probably go from now and then until the the same before September, right? And I think that potentially all the professors here, they should have the space, because what they have to do is just apply online, right? So on our end, we apply online, and then on your end, if you see our names that you just applied for that position, then you will, if you have already let us know, and we still have the space, then you will get it. Right, so that is some information that I would like to show to you. If you feel interested and you would like to come, which I encourage all of you to come, then these are 2 scholarships they can try. Okay, so thanks for this opportunity to let me just announce this information to everyone here. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Chuang. For students, maybe if you are interested in joining the internship, just ask one of our students, Fitri, for example, about her experience joining the program. Also, for upcoming student, we have Vincent that will be there next week, yeah? Yeah, so you can ask those 2 students how it feels joining the program. And we are now approaching the end of the session. Thank you, Professor, for all the interesting talks and share a lot of things with us. And once again, give a big applause for the professors. Okay, now I give the time back to MC.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this today's seminars, Future Healthtech Interdisciplinary Breakthrough in Biomedical Innovation, allow me to first express our deepest appreciation to Dr. Gigi Aryan Morita, MSc, PhD, for excellent moderation throughout the session. Thank you, Dr. Gigi Aryan, for your dedication and expertise in leading the seminar with such a clarity and professionalism. And let's show us our appreciation with a round of applause to Dr. Gigi Aryan. We will also like to extend our sincere gratitude to all today's distinguished speakers for their insightful contribution and to all participants for your enthusiastic during the event. As we close the seminar, we would like to kindly remind you that the lunch has been prepared outside this auditorium. Please note that food and beverages from the lunch session are not allowed inside the auditorium. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation. Once again, thank you for being part of this event. On behalf of organizing committee, we apologize for any inconvenience that might have occurred during the seminar. It is now time for me to take my leave. It has been a great honor to host today's seminar. We hope you leave with a valuable insight and new perspective. We wish you a pleasant day and look forward to seeing you again in future event. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.